the hints in the story, there was never really anything that gave us like, okay, he could have Conqueror's Haki. And at this point in the game, maybe it would be a bit too late to just add that in because there's not as many hints for like Zoro. There's a lot of hints if we go back. Same for Usopp.
Yeah.
Sanji would be just like to me would be like fan service to give him conquerors, because
Yeah.
in a way, Hell's Memory or Devil's Leg, it's explained in One Piece physics. Like I'm spinning around and then the fire appears. But
Yeah.
Zoro's Ashura is like his presence. He wants to kill you so bad that like you feel like he's having a second head, well, two other heads. You feel like he's having other swords. It's like
Yeah.
it's like illusions. But the Sanji's flames are very real. They're not illusions. So to me, it looks more like armament than anything else. Like the Red Hawk.
Yeah.
To me, Sanji's Devil Leg look more like that than a variant of Conquerors. But who knows?
Nah, no, you make a good point on that because my boy Marquis said the same thing. He was saying that it was all friction, but then when Oda said one of SBS's that it was actually Sanji burning soul. I'm like, burning soul?
Like
Now
his
you know,
passion or something.
yeah, because just like now he don't have to spin; he could just summon the fire. So I was kind of like, okay, yeah. I don't know. I would like to see him to get the Crown, and also I feel like with like the big crews, we always had where the captain had Conqueror's Haki, and then like the first commander had Conqueror's Haki. I think Luffy having a crew where it's him and two other people in Conqueror's Haki, that would make his crew just that much stronger than everyone else. Because I feel Ben Beckman definitely got. I think Ben Beckman may have Conqueror's Haki. We know Shanks have Conqueror's Haki, so
I would say he does.
Yeah, so for Luffy's crew to have three people with Conqueror's Haki, that man puts his crew above everyone else. That's like even above Gold Rogers, because it was Gold Rogers and Rayleigh. So Luffy have him, Zoro, and Sanji. It's like, boom, he's already in a better making than everyone else. All the best crews.
I agree with you, but that's why I give it to Usopp, because again, these are the first three guys of the crew. Usopp was the third character, and Sanji is way stronger than him. Sanji is a lot smarter than him. Usopp, if you break him down, he's just a sniper. So I think like Conqueror's Haki would really help his lore. Like when in the near future, Shanks' kid it grew older and he's reading about the Strawhats. I feel like if Usopp is just a sniper, it's going to be lame. But if he's a sniper and a Conqueror's Haki user, it's going to add a lot to his lore. I don't think that Sanji, it would help him that much because again, Sanji he's a very smart guy. He's always coming clutch. So if he has that as well, like Sanji's gonna be OP. Like let's keep it a buck. He's smarter than Luffy and Zoro. He's always coming up with these clutch plans. He's very strong, and he has Conqueror's Haki, and he's not even training like that. Like, what kind of monster do we have here?
That's true. Yeah. I don't know, man. So I guess, yeah.
I mean, it could be it. If you're into that, like sit with your chest, and we're gonna see. But I just don't think you will have it.
I don't know, like because the Usopp, I'm definitely bored with Usopp. Zoro, we already know. Luffy, we already know. Sanji, I'm like 50-50. So if he gets it, I'm cool. If he don't get it, I'm cool with it.
I feel you. Like if he gets it, I know that Oda's gonna find a logical way to explain it. So I wouldn't mind. But so far, it's pretty cool. So we have Nami having Perception Haki, and you think she's gonna get Zeus back?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think Zeus is living in her climate. I think he was able to escape because I think the black balls that Nami tried to give to Zeus, I believe Hera was eating those. She wasn't eating Zeus, so because she was eating those, she figured that was Zeus, and Zeus was able to escape and hide into Nami's climate. And I think he's going to stay inside her climate for a little bit, and he's going to use the black balls in her climate to heal himself up. So he's not going to be at 100% like he was before, but now he's going to have to live in her climate to live.
It would explain why.
Zeus,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was about to say it would explain why Nami wouldn't be like so OP if Zeus is weaker than he used to be.
Yeah, and I think what's going to happen because he's weaker now. The only thing to survive, it's going to pretty much like the black ball's going to be like his IV. So he's going to probably be like nerfed down to like maybe 30% of his true power. So I can see like that being like a nice little power for now.
Like you can't have all that character development for nothing, Like he had a whole chapter for himself.
And like not only that, like just her and him having like the history they had before, it makes sense Oda setting that up and then kill them all.
Yeah.
So,
But I was convinced that Big Mom would have been like, okay, so Nami has mothering mode as well. Okay, I fuck with you. I'm gonna fight someone else. Not even.
Yeah.
This girl is so unpredictable. Like she's doing whatever the hell she wants.
You know what? I think Big Mom is always like Big Joke because he's like, you know what?
For
I
sure.
could I could throw her anywhere. She messes with the story, and then if he and also too, I think he uses her to get him on a corner. So sometimes he writes himself into a corner and says, you know what? Let
Hmm.
me use Big Mom because there was no
Right.
way Uzi and Usopp was
Very
gonna
true.
beat. I mean, I said Uzi. There's no way that
No.
Nami and Usopp was gonna beat Uzi in page one. So I guess Big Mom was like, you know what? Let me get myself out of this corner, and then I can turn around and then fix the
Hmm.
story up. So
You know
that's
what?
Big
You
Mom's.
reminded me of another alternative would be Big Mom um, stabbing Kaido, not killing him, but stabbing him. So basically
Hmm.
nerfing Kaido to a point where it's realistic that he loses against all the other supernovas. But
Yeah.
I think that in that process of Big Mom betraying Kaido, Kaido would kill her or knock her out. So I think that Kaido would get rid of Big Mom because who else can get rid of Big Mom? They have to turn on each other.
I mean, but what about with Kid? Like, you think she's just gonna watch out for Kid?
Kid is gonna get washed for sure,
You think?
100%. No, I don't think. Okay, this is I like to clown Kid, but to be honest with you, he's not weak. Okay, he's very strong, and we
Yeah.
clearly haven't seen all he can do. I just clown him for fun.
Hmm.
But when it comes to Big Mom, he has no chance. He has no
Yeah.
chance. Big Mom is comparable to Kaido, and Kaido just washed Luffy. So what is Kid gonna do? Unless Law comes in and help him, they might do something impressive, like okay,
Yeah.
this is a big feat for the week. But I don't think that they're gonna go too far with that.
Nah, me, I didn't think Kid was gonna defeat Big Mom. I thought Kid was just gonna hold Big Mom off. So this way Oda could turn around and be like, you know what? We're not worrying about her now. So this way he could progress the rest of the story. So I think he's just
Hmm.
gonna hold her off for like a few chapters, and next thing you know, she's gonna probably end up like flattening him and then try to go right back to the rooftop and then
Hmm.
he'll continue his story. But I don't think she's gonna wash him that easy. But I think he's gonna definitely hold off just for a little bit. Because yeah,
Yeah,
remember, because Jinbei and Robin threw Big Mom and she was gone for like three chapters and then she
for
came
sure.
back. So I
It's
think that's
true.
what's gonna end happening.
There's no telling to what the hell is gonna happen in this war. Like a few weeks ago, I was convinced that every Straw Hats would get the dub. Now I'm not even sure if they're gonna win their fights. You know, like I know
Really?
Frankie, and I guess we can talk about Frankie next. I know Frankie's gonna win his fights, for sure.
Okay.
He has it in the bag. But what do you think Frankie is like? What do you think is gonna be his next power up?
I think with Vegapunk's technology and anything, I think Frankie's gonna be moving more towards like uh more cyber and I know Oda's a big fan of Terminator. So
Hmm.
I can see Frankie obviously more missiles. I can see him becoming more like Iron Man. So
Right.
I can see instead of Frankie being like his big bulky self, he's gonna go down to like maybe a slimmer form, and people are gonna look
Hmm.
like, why are you so small? But then he's gonna be like more powerful, faster, and I could definitely see him being like the pacifistas. I could definitely see
Hmm.
him being more pacifistas, so like more
Like
lasers,
flying around.
more yeah, and then definitely one of his upgrades. I could see like the Thousand Sunny and him fusing into like a giant mech. That's gonna
Mm.
definitely be one. So like
Okay.
what Frankie whole thing is, he's supposed to be like the American of the group, so like bigger
Right.
guns, bigger this. So I
Uh-huh.
definitely see Frankie pulling out like a Gundam.
You're into something because I never really thought
Hmm.
about him and the Sunny fused, but that would be like
Hmm.
so poetic in a way. But at the same time, I think what you're saying about the Iron Man suit would be very fitting because Frankie, he lacks that speed. Like he needs that speed. At this point, that would
Yeah.
be like how he can complete himself as a fighter. Because the video that I just
Hmm.
uploaded was Zoro and Frankie versus Jinbei and Sanji, and I was talking about how Frankie is just too slow. Like he's strong, but and thankfully he's fighting Sasaki, who's not the fastest out of the Tobi
Hmm.
Rokos. But he really needs that power up when it comes to speed.
Quick question for you, and it's a Frankie question. Do you think Frankie is gonna master any type of hockey?
I don't think so, no,
No,
because
he's the only.
right,
Mhm.
he's all about
No, I'm sorry.
his tech. He's all about his tech. I think his tech is gonna go take him through. It's gonna carry him.
Okay, because like reading the story, like he's the only straw hat. Him and Chopper are the only two straw hats. I can't really see them like being like hockey masters or anything. Like maybe
Mhm.
Chopper will armament, but
Because Frankie, his metal is basically armament haki. His strong what's the name of his weapon? Like his strong
uh,
right. something like
Strawhat,
that.
yeah,
This is basically
yeah,
armor and haki. So the more he unlocks himself, like Kuma was super hard and it wasn't
yeah.
haki. I feel like Frankie is gonna go that route. He's more about technology, and haki is more about like spirituality.
Hmm.
Frankie, he would be a atheist. He's not a spiritual person. I don't feel like he's
That's
gonna have
true.
any type of haki. But when it comes to Chopper, I think maybe perception, just because as a doctor that it would help. And he has
Hmm.
this little thing where like Oda didn't use it in a while, but early One Piece, Chopper used to like scan people like a bit like a
Oh,
Byakugan.
the brain boost, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
So I think for Chopper, perception haki would help him in his profession and in some of his techniques. That's what I can see for him.
I like that. Yeah, and then because like I said, because the only thing I see him getting was armor hockey because when he smacked Queen, you see he hit Queen with his hooves. So I
That
guess
was
if he,
beautiful.
so I figure if he can make his hooves harder, that will make his like punching power a little bit stronger. Especially
Mhm.
if he masters muscle. Well, he already mastered muscle point, but like if he gets a muscle point without a rumble ball, muscle
Mm.
point with armor hockey, I think would be like a nice little battle power for Chopper.
Honestly, I think he's so underrated, like by his own author. Because when he was introduced, I was expecting so much more for him, and I don't know what
Hmm.
the hell happened. Because he says, "Okay, now I'm embracing the monster, but you're not even scary anymore."
Yeah. Nah, he's still like always no one selling merchandise. He's a cute plushie. That's all Chopper is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite till this day. I just hope that he would tap in more of that scary monster type of vibe.
You
Like
think he's
when
gonna get a
he go ahead.
no? I was saying, do you think he's gonna get a new monster point, or you think this is it for Chopper?
I feel like this is it. Sadly, I think this is it. Chopper.
Really?
I think that as a fighter, he basically he plateaued as a fighter. I want to be proved wrong, but I really think he plateaued, and he's just gonna level up as a doctor. Like you said,
Okay.
he's just a merch at this point.
Yeah. Because I figured cause like you everyone's always thinking about like the end of story battles and matchups and things like that. Because I figured he would match up with San Juan Wolf, and since San Juan Wolf is like so much bigger than Chopper's monster
Hmm.
point, I
Mm.
figured Chopper needed another upgrade to where he's like an even bigger monster. That's what I was thinking. But if you think like this is plateau, it could be, and then him just upgrading to Doctor would make sense.
Because think about it, the final war against Blackbeard. Um, is it necessary for all this? I think the Chopper is gonna match up Doctor Q. No, like the guy who's always sick on his horse, like doctor against
Yeah.
doctor type of vibe. Because Simon Wolf, that's the big ass dude who hides like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, him. I think like if Frankie fuses with the Sunny, as you said, then you have a battle of the giants.
Yeah.
And in a way, he's like Blackbeard's ship. In a way, like everybody
Yeah.
just
'Cause-
gets
yeah.
gets on top of him, and then he walks with all of them on him. So a
Hmm.
battle of the ships, Frankie versus him, and Chopper. I would see him fighting Doctor Q.
Yeah. 'Cause it'd be like a Pacific Rim type of battle in the
Right.
sea. Yeah. And that actually, damn, that's crazy. You took my idea. You actually made that better. Yeah, I actually like that fight. That's just a better matchup because I couldn't think of one for Frankie. Frankie versus Simon Wolf. Yeah. Battle of the kaiju versus the mech. Yeah.
Exactly, Kaiju versus Mech. And Chopper, maybe he's gonna get Law's help because listen, personally, I love Law. I wish he would be on that final battle too,
Hmm.
and he would help the Strawhat like he always does. So if him and Chopper can fight against Doctor Q, because
Yeah.
Doctor Q he's like a plague. Maybe Chopper works on the plague and Law is fighting the actual guy, but I don't know about that. If Law is actually gonna be there, because a lot of people think he's gonna die, but that's another conversation.
Nah, I don't want to think about that. I like Law, and they kill him off. I think that'd be kind of like a whisper character.
Mm.
Because like I said,
He doesn't need to die, right?
no, and also too, like I just want to see him and Luffy have like that end of story like sake cup drink. Like
Mm.
I want to see that.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you. Him, Zoro, Law, that would be beautiful.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah, I don't see him dying. I know that people want him to die because his devil fruit is kind of a setup, but I think it
mhm,
would be a bit predictable if he dies. And if he doesn't die, he has his place in the story, straight up. But I know what they mean by if somebody has to die, and it needs to be somebody that we care about. Like Ace cannot be the only one. I think that somebody else. This is another conversation completely, but I think that there's one big player, big character that we like that's gonna die, and I don't think that it's gonna be Shanks. I think it's gonna be one of the young ones.
Oh,
I don't know who. I just feel like Oda needs to like give us another hit.
because I know a few people that I talked to said they felt that Killer was gonna die, and that was gonna change Kid.
Killer?
Yeah,
Yeah, Killer's a goner. I think Killer's goner. He's a goner.
because when Hawkins was saying that that man will die in a month's time, like a 90% chance
Mm,
of dying, a lot of people felt it was Killer, and they felt like because if Killer would die and that's Kid's best friend, that would
mm,
turn him into an even bigger monster, and that would give him his hockey
mm,
bloom if his best friend died. And I'm like, damn, this dude got hit
mm,
twice. Like you watch your best friend force to eat a small
mm,
fruit. Now you're watching him die.
mm. The
Yeah,
tragedy of
that's pretty
Wano,
much.
the tragedy of Kamazo, the Manslayer.
Yeah, and I feel like if Oda does do that, that's gonna pretty much just push Kid to be like the next Sasuke. I could just
He,
see him just
he,
going
he, he is
crazy.
that. And you watch Marvel, right?
Yes,
You've watched The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
yes,
To me, I was like, Kid has some U.S. agent vibes. He's just getting better with Luffy, Zoro, and Law. He's giving them compliments and stuff. But then his best friend dies. It pushes his character way back, where he's like,
yeah,
fuck that friendship, fuck the alliances, and this makes him a threat for Luffy in a way that he's not necessarily as strong as
hmm
him. But because Luffy is gonna feel some type of compassion for him, if they were to fight, Luffy's not gonna go as hard against him. A bit like Luffy
yeah,
versus Usopp, where Luffy like he was holding his hits, and as you said,
hmm
Kid was gonna have another Haki Bloom. So I think like this is the only way to make Kid relevant again is to have Killer died basically, and just the way whole thing with his name is Killer for God's sake, pun intended.
yeah.
So I don't see him surviving. As you said, it would be a tragedy where we would care. Just having
hmm
Killer on that rooftop to me made me care for him just so much more.
Exactly. And I can see like if Killer does die, it's gonna end up being for Kid. It's gonna make Kid like Shiki to go Roger. Where you're gonna have the hate for Luffy. Like, just you know what? Your
Mm,
whole crew, everyone's alive, and I lost my best friend.
exactly.
Why are you so lucky? I'm not lucky. So I can see that can make Kid have like a instead of having a rivalry
Yeah,
for Luffy, like a genuine hate for Luffy. So I can definitely
exactly.
see him being the next
Resentment.
Shiki. Yeah,
Hmm. Because he's not a good person. Let's keep it a buck. He kills civilians. He was never good. And I think that,
yeah.
yeah, we're into something.
He was